Ladies and gentlemen, the walls are closing in. The walls are closing in on Saul Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, cash cow to sport of boxing. Canelo Alvarez, 4th division world champion, currently super middleweight undisputed. Canelo Alvarez, aka King Canelo, aka Cartelo, aka Cash Canelo, aka Payday, aka get the fuck out of here, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we break these down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. But what more that Canelo Alvarez have? Tell me the names. Some of the names that's available for Canelo Alvarez right now. The walls are closing in. The names that we've been wanting Canelo Alvarez to fight. Or the names that has been linked to Canelo Alvarez, like David Beterbiev, but David Beterbiev is going to be fighting Caleb Plant on March 25th. He's out of commission. Dimitry Bivol right now looking for Beterbiev because Beterbiev just beat Anthony Yarde. So they're about to go to negotiations for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. So Bivol should be out of commission. Charlo, we haven't seen him. I don't know what the WBC gonna do with his belt and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He had marital problems. He hasn't been in the ring. You know what I'm saying? He could have had the Jaime Munguia, but the Zone and Showtime didn't work it out. He could have had Canelo Alvarez back in Cinco de Mayo of last year, but he went for the Zone deal when the PBC deal was on the table. But Canelo Alvarez won with the Zone deal for Bivol, lost to Bivol, then beat Triple G, then the trilogy. And another name that's been linked to Canelo Alvarez is Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade, where Canelo Alvarez could have fought Demetrius Andrade in 160 for the undisputed middleweight championship of the world. We haven't seen the undisputed in the middleweight division since Jermaine Taylor. One more. What are the names? People even say Edgar Berlanga. Y'all know that y'all don't believe that Edgar Berlanga is ready. Shout out to Edgar Berlanga, but he ain't ready for Canelo Alvarez. What are the names? I know y'all don't. I know y'all not up for the John Ryder and Canelo Alvarez because John Ryder lost like 5 times. Ain't they? What? Has the WBO mandated the fight? Is there any dates to the fight? Or the order? There's any dates for the purse bid and stuff like that? So currently, the WBO never ordered the John Ryder versus Canelo Alvarez, and you could check it out in the WBO.com, the website, and trust me, they let you know if the fight was ordered. So Canelo Alvarez, one of the most powerful men in the sport of boxing, could choose whatever he want to do. Could choose right now who he want to fight, especially coming out of surgery. Is due that the Belt Federation is going to give him a voluntary. Who's available? Demetrius Andrade is available. Undefeated. 2-division world champion. Olympian. A guy that's been linked to Canelo Alvarez. That is the best possible fight for Canelo Alvarez. The best respectable fight for Canelo Alvarez. Right now, a respectable fight for Demetrius Andrade that just moved up from 160 for DeMar Nicholson. Beat him every round. Knocked him down like 3 times and stuff like that. He's available. Canelo's available. So what type of fight do y'all want me to call for? There's going to be people out there that are going to be mad. Come on, Canelo. Canelo don't really have to fight Demetrius. He don't got to prove nothing to Demetrius Andrade. Nah, Canelo Alvarez don't have to prove nothing. You know why? Because Canelo Alvarez right now could retire. Canelo Alvarez could retire right now and still be a first ballot Hall of Famer because he's a 4th-division world champion, like I said at the beginning of the video. He got the resume. A lot of these guys hasn't done 25% of what Canelo Alvarez, not even reach 20, not even half what Canelo Alvarez, not even 25%, we could honestly say. There's going to be people out there that are going to be like, yo, but who did the Andrade fight? Who did Charlo fight? Who did David Benavidez fight? Who did any possible opponent of Canelo Alvarez? Who did they fight? Who did Yeardrum fight? Who did Cameron Smith fight? Who did Billy Joe Saunders fight? Who did everybody? Who did, in the past 2 years, who did anybody fight? Who Bivol fought? Who Bivol fought to grant him a Canelo Alvarez fight anyway? Because Canelo Alvarez has the resume, has the accomplishment, has the power, the cash cow. He could do whatever he want to do. He could pick whoever he want to pick. Just like Mayweather did it, just like Oscar de la Hoya had the power to do it, right? So I'm just looking at for the possible best opponent, for the possible good fight, for the most respectable fight that's available for Canelo Alvarez. Whether you like these fighters that I name or not, what's the best available opponent? Do you think that John Ryder is better than Demetrius Andrade? Get the hell out of here. You don't know the sport of boxing. If you think that, get the hell out of my face. Stop trying to come with the narrative of Mr. Moonshine. Yo soy el pastor de boxeo. You can't fake me. I know a lot of people out there make you eat and feed you narratives that you there swallowing, or you open up your ass and stuff like that and let the narrative fuck you in the ass without vasolina. A ti te canta la vasolina. Dale la vasolina. Get the fuck out of here. Y fuera. A los narrative pushers and the narrative hoes. Don't let yourself be hustled out there. Don't let yourself be hustled. Ladies and gentlemen, Canelo Alvarez is against the wall right now. Because even If David Benavidez beat Caleb Plant, everybody going to be calling for the Mexican monster David Benavidez. A lot of people feel David Benavidez is going to beat Caleb Plant. If Caleb Plant beats David Benavidez, I think it's fair to grant him a rematch because he was undefeated when he fought Canelo Alvarez. He was a champion and lost. Now, of course, I'm all for Canelo Alvarez trying to get his get back with Bivol. But I don't want Canelo Alvarez to get in the way of a light heavyweight undisputed. We don't want nobody to get in the way of that. We don't want Canelo Alvarez to get in the way. We don't want boxing, any belt federation. Even the WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman, was talking about that. Oh, the Russian stuff. And we don't, no. We want to see Beterbiev and Bivol. We don't want to see no undisputed get in the way, just like we wanted to see. We don't want nobody get in the way of Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury. We wanted to see nobody get in the way of Jamel Charlo versus Brian Castano. We don't want to see nobody get in the way of Beterbiev Bivol. We don't want to see nobody get in the way of Bud Crawford versus Earl True Spin. That's why we frustrated. We was mad about Bud Crawford going to BLK Prime and fight David Avanesian and left off the negotiation table when he could have fought Earl the True Spence. Or they could have, or the other side should have just gave him transparency, whatever they wanted, right? We saw, who it fought Paul Butler. We saw that fight. We saw the Undisputed. We saw Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez. You saw Jack Catterall step aside so we could see the Undisputed. So I want everybody to step aside so we could see this Undisputed in Bivol and Beterbiev. But I still think that Canelo Alvarez is great enough. And yes, he should get his get back, but not now. Not now. Maybe after the Beterbiev and Bivol fight, he could get the winner and still become a two-division undisputed champion. But that's what Canelo Alvarez could have done if he would have fought Demetrius Andrade in 160. There was one belt left. And they wasted their time trying to negotiate with Sergey Derevyanchenko when they had like almost 2 months, a window to file an extension to the IBF so we could get that fight. See, you see how a lot of boxing fans, they mad that they want to see Bud and Earl and Earl. They want to see these fights that they've been calling for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Tyson Fury and AJ or Wilder versus AJ. There's a lot of fights where I'm one of those guys that I still wanted to see Demetrius Andrade versus Canelo Alvarez. Because it's not only in the 160-pound division, but what happened in 154 when Canelo Alvarez was right there as the number one contender to the WBO to face Demetrius Andrade. After the Lara fight, and then he fought Kirkland. Why you ain't fight Demetrius Andrade? And then after Kirkland, of course, you got the Cotto fight that's in your back pocket. So, of course, I understand what Canelo Alvarez has done. I said it in my live show yesterday. The reason, this is the reason why. Because I keep it real. I understand that people... There is a fan base of Canelo Alvarez. I'm part of the fan base of Canelo Alvarez. I'm not part of the fanboy of Canelo Alvarez. That is, the fanboys are the ones that just stick to a narrative, whether you like it, whether you hate it, whether you know it's fake, just so you could debunk this other channel, these other narratives that they shame Canelo Alvarez with these type of names. No, I'm not shaming Canelo Alvarez nor any other fighter. I'm not shaming Canelo Alvarez to face Demetrius Andrade. What I'm saying is, what's the possible opponent right now? What's the best possible fight right now? What's the fight that I could get intrigued with Canelo Alvarez? I'm intrigued with Demetrius Andrade right now because he's available. Canelo Alvarez is available. And let me tell you why I am more intrigued and why I do want to see this fight. Because it stands from a long time. 9 years, 9 years, 9 años. Listen to me before you start falling in love with the narrative out there. Listen to me. When Canelo Alvarez was the number one rated at the WBO while Demetrius Andrade was the champion, right? After Lara, you think they wanted to fight another guy like Lara? That was like a Demetrius Andrade, a mover, boxing, stuff like that. Anyway, he fought Kirkland. Then after that, like I said, he fought Cotto. And that's the reason why we gave Canelo Alvarez a pass. Because at the end of the day, even if you're going to avoid a fighter, but still fight a legacy fight, then it's just due. Then it's justified. So in 154, that happened, but Demetrius Andrade was in position to get Canelo Alvarez. In 160, we understand that undisputed, he was in position to get Demetrius Andrade. Canelo Alvarez is in position to get Demetrius Andrade. But what happened, right? He didn't get Demetrius Andrade. And even when he got stripped because they didn't do their due diligence in the boardroom, sending that to file that extension early, right? He got stripped. But then there was negotiations to fight for unification bout. But nah, Canelo Alvarez skipped his way, forget about the negotiations, and then they went for Kovalev, into which he got $5 million less, which he was going to get fighting Demetrius Andrade. So he fought Kovalev, and this is the reason why Canelo Alvarez really don't get shamed for doing the moves that he do, even if you avoid fighters. Avoiding fighters and ducking fighters, really, that doesn't mean that you're pussy or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The best possible. Look, the thing is what happened when Canelo Alvarez avoids Demetrius Andrade, he still fights a legacy fight. Not right after, because Kirkland's not a legacy fight, but then he fought Cotto. In 160, he went up to become a 3-division world champion and fight Kovalev. This is the reason why, me as a fan, I didn't hold Canelo Alvarez too much accountable, because at the end of the day, he traded legacy for a legacy fight. Now, no undisputed, but at least he became 3-division world champion. This is why Canelo Alvarez didn't get that shame or that critique from a guy like me, from a fan, because I could praise Canelo Alvarez to the fullest. I don't think that nobody could praise him, and praise Canelo Alvarez like your boy, Mr. Moonshine. Y'all know me enough in this community. I go to war for Canelo Alvarez as well. But right now, what's the best possible opponent for Canelo Alvarez? Do not tell me you John Ryder, because then you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself to enable a narrative, to hold the narrative, because you want to shame. Why Demetrius Andrade didn't fight Parker, and then he'll be in position to get Canelo Alvarez. We've seen Demetrius Andrade in position to get Canelo Alvarez in 154. We've seen Demetrius Andrade in a position to be undisputed, and for Canelo Alvarez's legacy as well. In 160, what makes you think in a WBO in which the WBO don't even got the first, is not even first in line for the mandatory? That's why you haven't seen nobody mandate Canelo Alvarez right now, not the WBO, because the WBC was first. That's why David Benavidez won his interim title versus Lemieux. So he's first in line. The WBO was last in line. They were the one that took 18 months just to get a mandatory, and still he's injured. He has surgery, so they're going to give him a voluntary bout. With a voluntary bout, he got to pick the right to choose. Choose Demetrius Andrade over Ryder, because that's the fight, and that's been the name linked to Canelo Alvarez for 9 years. Now, whether you like it, these are the facts. Now, y'all could go with feelings. It's okay. It doesn't matter you're a fan of Demetrius Andrade or not, but the walls are closing in. There is no more mega names for Canelo Alvarez. It's either he fights these guys now. Fight them now. You're going to have to, because there is no more Cottos. There is no more Mosley. There is no more Mayweather. There is no more possible first ballot Hall of Famers to link Canelo Alvarez as a headliner. So for me, in my opinion, I don't want to see Ryder. And the narrative, what they're going to say, that Ryder beat Daniel Jacobs, and Jacobs was a better... Jacobs don't want to fight Demetrius Andrade because he's friends with Demetrius Andrade. Y'all forgot? And if you're going to come with the narrative saying, but who did he fight? He can't fight nobody. That somebody don't want to fight him. That somebody got to fight him so you could say he fought somebody. That's easy to say. See, that's weak-ass narrative that y'all be pushing up on me and other boxing fans. Who did he fight? Well, if that somebody fights him, then he will have somebody in his resume. And in 160, this is what it is. See, I wasn't even saying, Canelo Alvarez needs to fight, needs to do it. No, Triple G got a pass. I've been telling y'all since for how many years that Triple G has gotten a pass. Y'all been giving him a pass. He been flying under the radar while Canelo Alvarez was doing all the dirty work. Why he didn't fight Demetrius Andrade when Demetrius Andrade went inside the ring to ask for a fight. But y'all gave him a pass. Matter of fact, Triple G should have never got the trilogy. He should have got Demetrius Andrade or Charlo for unification bout. And y'all was blaming everybody for the Willy Wonka for chasing the Willy Wonka ticket, but the guy that was really chasing the Willy Wonka ticket was Triple G. Triple G was the one that's chasing the Willy Wonka ticket, and y'all gave him a pass. And while all these guys y'all shaming everybody else, now what they gonna say? PBC fighter should fight. I've been saying it. Demetrius Andrade wants Charlo. I'm the one that say get Canelo Alvarez because Charlo's out commission right now. I just want to see the best possible opponent, and why? Because I'm also a fan of Canelo Alvarez. See, I don't babysit Canelo Alvarez like y'all fanboys babysit Canelo Alvarez, because I believe he's great enough to get any good challenges. And just like Demetrius Andrade said, it's a 50-50 fight for him. So, guys, let me know what y'all feel. Y'all want to see Demetrius Andrade versus Canelo Alvarez, Cinco de Mayo? Y'all want to see John Ryder. But y'all only want to see John Ryder because y'all want to shame the guys that is used by other channels that you hate to shame Canelo Alvarez. So you say John Ryder. But you know you don't give a fuck about John Ryder. Just like I never gave a fuck about Jenna Bick. Just like I never gave a fuck about Zach Parker. Y'all didn't know who they were. Y'all don't give a damn about them. But you do know who Demetrius Andrade is. Because if you've been following Canelo Alvarez's career and you're a fan of Canelo Alvarez, you knew that the first opportunity Canelo Alvarez could have become undisputed was versus Demetrius Andrade. Don't be the fool. Don't play the fool. Do not let these narrative pushers, you know what I'm saying, make you swallow your pride, your intellect. Don't let it do that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. This is Punch Drunk Boxing. You could always get the real from me. Ya tú sabes, mi gente. ¿Ah? Yo no soy mi gente. ¿Ok? Latino forever. Ya tú sabes. Pero la otra persona que ya give clout, ni quiere enseñar la cara a esa gente. Esos son pela de gato, esa gente. Trying to use my people, mi gente. Y usted lo dejan que te usen a ustedes. ¿Por qué? For a narrative? Canelo Alvarez don't have to do nothing. Because Canelo Alvarez already done it. But if he's going to be in the game, I still want him to fight these fights that I know that he's great enough to overcome. And I know these fighters, because of the skill set Canelo Alvarez, could push him. Because in this fight, it's really about styles. That's all. Fight John Ryder, Canelo Alvarez is going to wax his ass, bro. That's another eardrum fight to me. Canelo Alvarez is too great. At this position, it's like Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya was not fighting no type of John Ryder late in his career. Manny Pacquiao wasn't fighting no type of John Ryder. Mayweather wasn't even fighting no type of John Ryder. You know what I'm saying? So Canelo Alvarez is great enough. He don't need at this stage of his career to fight a John Ryder and somebody that lost 5 times. All right? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it honest. If you're a fan of Canelo Alvarez, you approve of what I'm saying. Why not?